You know what, those thanks again for tuning into yet another video. Memphis coming at you live from the West Coast yet again, San Jose, California. So now we've had the tuner for 1 week. This is Throttle Tunner from Tury, Fast Throttle Tuner. They have different options as far as, you know, the vehicles. They offer options for four-wheeled, for cage vehicles, SUVs, Tacomas, all sorts of different options and connections and whatnot. So, like I said, I've had the Throttle Tuner now for a week, and I've come to get used to the throttle response a little bit. It still kind of takes me by surprise every once in a while. I have caught myself speeding a little bit more. I have also found myself getting into some issues as far as people cutting me off and potentially getting into accidents because of, said speed. Since I am traveling at a faster rate of speed, I am coming in closer contact with other vehicles. When people see me coming down the road, I guess they misjudge how fast I'm going. And we just, it's happened, since I put the throttle tuner, it just seems like I've been coming with that issue with people misjudging my speed and how fast I'm getting up to them, or how fast I'm getting up to speed because of the throttle tuner. So yes, I am riding a little bit more aggressive with the throttle tuner. So my miles per gallon have they have dropped. Now, I've recently filled up my fuel tank to full, and I noticed my miles till empty, or remaining miles fuel tank indicator on the speedo has now given me 150 miles until empty. So I don't know if it's the ECU learning my tendencies recently, as of late, because of the more aggressive riding that I've been doing. That's the way I kind of go about it. I believe the ECU, or the ECUs, or something hanging out of my tank, or maybe just the zipper. Yes. So, anyways, maybe the ECU has picked up on my recent tendencies of how aggressive I've been riding. So I'm guessing it's cut out 50 miles of my fuel range because of it. Now, it could be a combination of the throttle tuner and the stage 2, because this is after the stage 2 as well. I have a throttle tuner with the stage 2 475. So this is just little things. I just put the intake manifold. It's noisy. It is definitely noisy. I just don't know if that's a common thing with other riders, but that's just something that I'm picking up. When it's cold, I can hear the intake. So like I said, this isn't about the intake or other mods. This is about the throttle tuner, and I've been having a blast. I've been having an absolute blast. And I think if you have a 475 or just a higher lift or more of aggressive cam, I believe you will benefit from the throttle tuner. Man, it really wakes it up. Now, like I said, I had a blast with the Indian, the riding modes. Comparing this to the Indian as far as riding modes and throttle response and throttle lag, it's more manageable, and I like it. All right, this is coming from someone that rode a bunch of Indians in sport mode, touring mode, rain mode. You guys know from the demo days, I've ridden the Challenger, the Pursuit, the Chieftain, the Bobber, the Dark Horse, all of them. Even the Sport Chief, had a blast. But the riding modes on those bikes, it's completely different compared to what you get with this Bluetooth throttle tuner. Now, like I said, the power doesn't really come on until I say 15 to 20% of throttle. Now, that was the opposite. That was the exact opposite with the Indian. With the Indian, as soon as you just gave it a little bit of gas, the thing just wants to take off. it's very twitchy, and in my opinion, I believe it is a little bit dangerous. With the throttle tuner, you get a little bit more play between whatever level you're at, and like I said, I can still manage it with one hand. When I had the Indian, I was afraid. I was afraid, especially because on the bobber, it had a super tight clutch. So whenever I was, coming into the friction zone, my throttle clutch was basically at a resting position, so it would take me by surprise. And because of how twitchy the throttle was on the Indian, as soon as I just gave it a little bit of gas, I'm talking about 5%, maybe 10%, that thing just wanted to take off. It was insane. I honestly didn't think it was manageable long run, or I don't know, maybe you could management and adjust your riding to how twitchy that throttle was, but man, I mean, I don't know. When I test rode them this year, because last year I was pretty much on sport mode the whole time. This year I did shut off sport mode, and like I said, it was only because just how twitchy the thing was, and I mean that really depends on on the rider, and you have that setting with this too as well, but I just don't think this is as twitchy as the Indian. It's not, because I've tried all the ride modes from level 6 to level 9, which is the max. And like I mentioned, with this throttle tuner, the settings wise, it doesn't really kick in until 15 to 20% throttle. Alright, which is nice. Like I said, it's more manageable. It's not going to take you by surprise, and I think it just gives you a little bit more control as far as on the bike. Just you don't want full one-to-one all the time, unless that's what you want. All right. Wow, something just hit me in the helmet. I'm not sure what it was, but so far I am having a blast. I am enjoying the throttle tuner. I like the different modes, and I really appreciate how the throttle's pretty much it's pretty much the same up until you get to 15% throttle positioning or 20% throttle positioning. I believe it's more around the 20%, but for some reason sometimes if it just comes live at around 17%. I'm not sure if it's the sport mode or the race mode or the fast mode on the phone. It could be that, but on the average, it feels like it comes alive around 15 to 17%, and it's just whatever setting you have it at. It's crazy. All right, I'm liking it. I'm enjoying it, and like I said, it's not as twitchy as the Indian. So if you've ridden the Indian and you're not happy with that throttle response on how twitchy it is, just doing this, you can hear the engine build up a little bit. But yeah, with the Indian, it'd be balls to the wall, right, with just 7% throttle or even 10%. It was just instant, and it's fun for a little bit, but I like, so far 1 week into it, I like how this throttle tuner just changes the position of your throttle blade as soon as you hit that 15 to 20% throttle. So you can see, guys, very responsive. I have a 475. Now I mainly got the throttle tuner because of how much buildup I needed to get to for the 475 sweet spot. I've mentioned in the review or the first impressions of the cam, this cam loves to be at 3200 plus. That's when the bike really comes to life, and that was with my El Diable 2-in-1 exhaust pipe. When I switched over to the SPC without retuning it, of course, so I'm not sure if I'm losing top end power, but the response with the SPC was significant. And you know, it just made me, you know, look, I was being a little bit doubtful with my choice of the 475. I also mentioned in my impressions video that I'm more of a 465 guy. Now that I've installed the SPC pipe, I'm pretty sure I need to retune it, but I am much happier with the 475 when I installed the SPC. I actually really like it. Like I said, I'm probably losing a little bit of performance on the top end. The SPC seems to be a shorter pipe, but just on the dyno, it's more responsive. Now, like I said, the main reason why I got the throttle tuner was so I could address that responsiveness on the low end. And it has completely changed the way the bike feels, of course, because, you know, it's all about the throttle response. So it is fun, all right. And like I mentioned on the throttle tuner impressions video, you can see what the ECU is doing on my dyno jet. So as soon as I hit that 15-20% mark on the throttle position, that's what TP stands for, throttle position percentage. As soon as I hit that 15 to 20%, it shoots me up to what I believe, depending on the level, it will shoot me up to 50%, 60%, 70%, 80%, and then of course 90%, depending on your level. So as of right now, I've tried the modes. Right now, I am very happy with level 6. So that really depends on the rider. You might want it a little bit more aggressive. You could do that. You could leave it at level 9. You could leave it at level 8. Or, you know, you could just keep on. Every week you could try a different level, see which one you like, of course. But keep in mind, you will be finding yourself speeding a little bit more often, in which you might find yourself paying more speeding tickets, and you will also find yourself paying at the pump because you're just riding a lot more aggressive than you will be if you didn't have the throttle tuner. So I've posted an image before on the other videos. It's how the Harley has their throttle positioning set up, or the throttle lag on their bike. You have a lot of the lag in the throttle positioning is in the lower percentage of your throttle position. So I'm not sure if I'm making any sense, but just looking at the numbers, because like I said, I mean, you could adjust your throttle lag via tuner. All right, you have that option on the Fuel Pack 3, and you have that option on the Power Vision. You could mess with it, but I just didn't want to do the homework. I didn't want to make multiple maps and then try them one by one, load them up, see what works. I just didn't want to do that. You can, if you want to take the time, if you feel like it's not worth paying the $400 for the throttle tuner, and you want to, I guess, learn how to use the full features of the dyno jet, you can. You will just have to have a PC, because dyno jet does not work with Mac, of course, that's one. And you will need a lot of time, a lot of testing, connecting, flashing. There's going to be a lot of that. You're going to be flashing the tuner to your bike, waiting 10 seconds, getting on the bike and seeing how it responds. You could absolutely do that. But the way I figured, you know what, I don't want to mess with the tuner. I don't want to mess with the throttle positioning, because I mean, there is a lot of information there. You have different RPM levels, and then of course, depending on the RPM level, you have the throttle positioning that alters depending on the RPM. And then I believe there's even like a gear ratio to it as well. On top of the throttle positioning, you also have, depending on what gear you're in, 1 through 6, it's going to respond differently. So I just, like I said, I like the throttle tuner. It takes out all that guesswork, and it gives you good control at the low end as far as the throttle positioning. And then depending on your level where you want it, it'll shoot you up to you know, that throttle body blade control. So nice, like I said, not too twitchy, not too aggressive, and a lot of customization, a lot of different levels to choose from, depending on, you know, where you're at as a rider, or your daily ride, or whatever you want. But you can definitely set it to forget it, sort of thing. So I featured the RBW on the channel. I featured that tuner before on the channel. It's a neat little tuner. It's twice the price of the Throttle Tuner, which is Bluetooth that's connected via your phone. So that, you know, that really depends. I think that's probably one of the cons, I guess, maybe. I mean, I really don't see anybody messing with the throttle modes too much. Yes, the first week or two, you will be experimenting. You're going to be seeing what works, seeing what changes. So as far as, you know, messing with the settings, I'm sorry. I'm just saying, because the RBW skull, you have the option right here on your handlebars. It's always on. You don't have to go into your phone, unlock it, and look for the app. All right. Here, let's go ahead and get on the highway. So yes, on the RBW, which is nice, you don't have to get on. I gotta be careful. All right, so, oh man, this thing is so angry. Anyways, yes. So as I was saying, the Throttle Tuner, the RBW, it's always on. You have a device connected to your throttle, to your handlebars. It's right here. You can adjust it on the fly. Like I said, I doubt you'll be messing with that, you know, too much. Yes, when I was trying out the modes, I had to keep on unlocking the phone, you know, changing, swapping the apps, whatever you're doing. But as far as, you know, once you get used to the throttle mode and stuff like that, I doubt people will be, you know, constantly switching between modes. But you know, I'd say that's one of the nice things of the RBW. You don't need an app. You don't have to make an account. You know, granted, it was super easy. Okay, it's not a big deal. But as far as, you know, just having it here, I guess there's a little bit of a benefit. It's small. It's a little knob on your handlebar. So, I mean, it doesn't look too bad. But I mean, I'm not entirely sure. It's really up to you. I think it's neat, like I said, having the control on the handlebar next to your control, your hand controls. As far as, you know, it being 100% connected all the time, I think it is neat. Okay. As far as the Throttle Tuner, you could do that. You could do that, but you would have to go into your settings and put your phone on always on. You would have to have your phone on always on. That's, you know, what you could do if you want constant control of your Throttle Tuner at all times. But you guys can let me know in the comments, what do you guys think? Is that something that you could potentially count as a con against the Throttle Tuner? Like I said, it is half the price. And I'm just saying it, you know, so far with my riding, so far I've left it at level 6. And I've been completely happy with it. I'm happy with how it's not twitchy at all within the first, you know, 20%, 15% of the throttle positioning. I like how I can easily manage the bike, you know, with one hand. On the Indian, you can't do this. You can't accelerate and hold the handlebar with one hand. You will fly off the back of the bike, or you will turn the front wheel to the right or whatever. You are going to get yourself into some serious problems if you do this with the Indian. So like I said, that you could count that as a con, not having the knob, not having it always on, and not being able to you know, flip it as quickly as possible. So I have found myself with the iPhone just popping up my visor, looking down on it, and the phone recognizes my face via, you know, that way. You could also, of course, leave your phone unlocked. I believe there's settings as far as the Bluetooth. As soon as it recognizes a Bluetooth device, it leaves the bike unlocked. I believe that is a thing with the iPhone. I don't know. So you could do that. You could set up your phone, because as soon as you turn on the bike, the Bluetooth throttle tuner turns on as well. It automatically connects. It's extremely fast, right? Which is also a neat little feature, in my opinion. It's just neat. There is no downtime. There is no letting it connect, warm up. I believe that really depends on your phone. This is the iPhone 13. I believe I have an iPhone 13. So as far as it connecting to the Bluetooth, it's instant connection, just like my audio system. That's also instant. There is no delay, there is no lag. So it's, yeah, like I said, it's neat. I'm enjoying it. Would I recommend it or would I buy it again? I would. Okay, I've mentioned, if you're someone on a budget, if you're someone that doesn't want to void your warranty and you want more performance out of your bike without breaking the bank, I think the throttle tuner is just as fun, because I've mentioned that in the Indian videos. All right, being on the Indian and feeling what that feels with the riding modes, and knowing what my Stage 2 can do on my Lowrider S. You know, I'm hitting 114 horsepower at 127 foot-pounds of torque, and I can tell you the Indian felt aggressive. All right, it felt like it had a 465 in it. I've ridden Harleys with you know, with the power cam, torque cam. It's not as responsive. It's not quite the same. I know down the road it's a little bit different, but you know, I think the throttle tuner is fun, and like I said, you don't void your warranty. You don't have to connect it to the ECM, just like you have to do with the DynoJet or the Fuel Pack 3. Those have to be connected through your ECM, and that will, of course, void your warranty. So, just neat. So, anyways, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching yet another video. If you guys please like the video, give me a like, give me a thumbs up. Is this kid saying hi to me? It looks like he's saying hi to me. I don't know who he is. But anyways, you guys stay out there, stay safe. Like I said, life's a risk. Get out there and ride. Later.